What if I told you that you're living in a reality completely fabricated by your own mind? That everything you consider absolute truth about yourself, your capabilities, and the world around you is nothing more than a mental construct based on past experiences that may not even be yours? Modern neuroscience is revealing something disturbing. You don't see reality as it is. You see reality as you are, and that changes everything. While most people live on autopilot, reacting to the same triggers in the same way for decades, there's an invisible world operating behind the scenes of your consciousness. A world that silently determines every decision you make, every opportunity you perceive or miss, and every outcome you attract or reject. In the next few minutes, I'll show you how to access and program this invisible world that governs 95% of your life. Experience. Prepare to discover that you have powers you never imagined powers that can completely transform your external reality through precise changes in your internal world. If you're ready to stop being a victim of circumstance and take control of your human experience, then keep watching, because what you're about to learn will shake your most fundamental beliefs about how life really works. Have you ever stopped to question whether what your eyes capture is actually what's happening around you? Neuroscience reveals a disturbing truth. Your brain isn't just a passive receiver of information, but a meticulous architect of reality every second. Trillions of sensory data bombard your nervous system, but only a microscopic fraction reaches your consciousness. The rest, it's filtered, edited, and shaped by the experiences you've accumulated throughout your life. It's as if you're living in a personalized film, where your own unconscious is the director, choosing which scenes deserve your attention and which should be cut from the final version. Imagine two people witnessing exactly the same situation, say, a heated argument between two strangers on the street. One, raised in a conflicted home, might see aggression and imminent danger, immediately activating their fight-or-flight system. The other, raised in a more harmonious environment, might interpret the same scene as just an intense conversation, remaining completely calm. This difference isn't in their eyes, but in the invisible lenses each has developed. As psychologist Daniel Kahneman put it in Thinking, Fast and Slow, our cognitive biases operate as mental shortcuts that help us process information quickly, but also trap us in limited versions of reality. This is why eyewitnesses to the same crime often offer completely contradictory accounts. They're not lying. They're simply reporting the version of reality their brains have constructed. The good news is that you can train your mind to become more selective about where you place your attention. Practicing mindfulness is like developing more refined perceptive muscles. When you learn to observe your own thought patterns without judgment, you begin to notice how certain triggers automatically direct your focus to negative or limiting aspects of experience. It's like discovering you have a remote control for your own mental television. You can choose the channel, adjust the volume, and even change the programming. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that just 8 weeks of mindfulness meditation can literally reshape the structure of your brain, increasing gray matter density in areas associated with emotional regulation and decreasing activity in the amygdala, the fear center. This means you don't have to be held hostage by the distorted lenses you inherited from the past. You can polish new lenses that reveal opportunities where you previously saw only obstacles. What do you believe has more power? A pill developed in pharmaceutical laboratories over years, or a sugar pill accompanied by the absolute conviction that it will cure your pain? The answer may shock you. Medical studies document cases where patients experience real symptom relief after receiving placebos, completely inert substances that should have no biological effect. But here's the real mystery. These patients' brains literally produce the same neurotransmitters and hormones that a real drug would generate. Dr. Joe Dispenza, in his research on neuroplasticity, discovered that the mere expectation of healing can activate the same neural circuits as a genuine medical intervention. This means that your beliefs aren't just thoughts floating around in your mind. They are biochemical commands that your body faithfully executes. The dark side of this equation is equally powerful. The nocebo effect. When someone firmly believes something will harm them, their body often manifests precisely those negative symptoms. There are medical reports of people developing all the symptoms of poisoning, after ingesting completely safe substances, simply because they believed they had consumed something toxic. This is irrefutable proof that your deepest convictions operate like prophets who fulfill their own predictions. Think about the areas of your life where you unconsciously sabotage yourself. Perhaps you believe you don't deserve success or that relationships always end badly. These limiting beliefs act like malicious software running in the background, causing you to make decisions that confirm the very thing you fear. It's a perverse cycle where your mind creates the evidence that justifies your limitations. Breaking these mental shackles requires more than simply positive thinking. It requires deep emotional archaeology to unearth beliefs you didn't even know you held. Start by observing the patterns that repeat themselves in your life. If you consistently attract the same type of problem in relationships, work, or finances, there's an underlying belief orchestrating this repetition. A powerful technique is to ask yourself the question, what would I have to believe about myself for this situation to keep repeating itself? The answer that emerges, however uncomfortable, is the guiding thread to freedom. Byron Katie, in his Method the Work, suggests challenging these beliefs with simple but transformative questions. Is this true? Can I be absolutely certain it's true? How do I feel when I believe this thought? This process of questioning isn't just intellectual. When you truly challenge a limiting belief, you can feel a physical release, as if invisible chains have been broken. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to drain your energy just by being in the same room, while others leave you feeling refreshed without even talking to you? This isn't coincidence or imagination, it's pure science. Your emotional state emits an energetic frequency that spreads through the space around you like invisible ripples on a pond. Research from the HeartMath Institute reveals that the human heart's electromagnetic field can be detected up to 3 meters away, and this field changes dramatically with your emotions. When you're anxious, your heart produces chaotic patterns that literally destabilize the energetic environment around you. Conversely, states of gratitude and compassion generate coherent patterns that harmonize not only your own nervous system, but also subtly influence everyone in your vicinity. It's as if you were a radio station continuously broadcasting your emotional programming to everyone tuned into your frequency. The discovery of mirror neurons by Italian neuroscientists in the 1990s revolutionized our understanding of emotional contagion. These special neurons fire both when you perform an action and when you observe someone else performing the same action. This means your brain is constantly mirroring the emotions of those around you, absorbing their internal states like an emotional sponge. This is why you can walk into a room and immediately sense the tension of an argument that took place minutes before, even without knowing what happened, or how you automatically smile when you see someone genuinely happy. This primitive ability was essential to the survival of our species. It allowed us to detect danger and alliances through subtle emotional cues. However, in a hyper-connected and often toxic world, this sensitivity can become a trap if you don't learn to protect your own energy field. Cultivating high vibrational emotions isn't just about feeling good, it's a sophisticated strategy for positively influencing your external reality. When you develop a consistent gratitude practice, you're not just shifting your internal perspective, you're literally reprogramming your nervous system to seek out and recognize opportunities that previously went unnoticed. A powerful exercise is to dedicate 5 minutes each morning to feeling genuine gratitude for 3 specific aspects of your life. But here's the secret, don't just think about these aspects, feel them viscerally in your body. Visualize every detail. Allow the feeling of gratitude to expand through your chest and radiate throughout your being. This practice isn't esoteric, it's pure neurochemistry. You're training your brain to produce more serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin, creating a magnetic internal state that naturally attracts people and circumstances aligned with this high frequency. Here's a statistic that will make you uneasy. Approximately 95% of your daily actions are executed by your subconscious without any input from your conscious mind. This means you're living on autopilot almost all the time, following scripts written years, perhaps decades ago. Neuroscientist Bruce Lipton discovered that our subconscious processes information 40 million times faster than our conscious mind. It's a machine of absolute efficiency, but also a silent tyrant that determines your reactions before you even have time to think. These automatic patterns, called habit loops, operate through a simple neurological circuit: trigger, routine, reward. Each time you repeat this cycle, you're literally carving deeper grooves in your brain, making behavior increasingly automatic and resistant to conscious change. The origin of these subconscious programs dates back to the earliest years of your life, when your brain was in theta brainwave state, a highly suggestible state similar to hypnosis. Between birth and age 7, you absorb thousands of beliefs, behaviors, and emotional patterns from your family environment like a hypnotic sponge. If your parents constantly argued about money, you may have developed a subconscious association between financial abundance and conflict. If you were constantly criticized, you may have internalized the belief that you need to be perfect to deserve love. These impressions weren't stored as conscious memories. They became the core programming of your internal operating system. It's as if someone installed outdated software on your mental computer when you were 5, and you're still running that same program at 30, 40, or 50, without even realizing why certain situations always generate the same predictable reactions. Reprogramming this system isn't a matter of willpower, it's a matter of neurological strategy. The most powerful technique I know combines visualization with intense emotional repetition every day for at least 20 minutes. You need to sit quietly and mentally experience the version of yourself you want to become. But here's the twist: don't just see this version, feel it completely. If you want to develop confidence, visualize yourself walking with erect posture, speaking with authority, making decisions without hesitation, and allow these sensations to fill your body as if they were real. The subconscious doesn't distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. So each visualization session is like a rehearsal that prepares your neural circuits for the actual performance. Combine this with specific affirmations repeated during states of deep relaxation. When your brain waves slow down, you can access and rewrite these old programs. Research from the University of Rochester shows that neuroplasticity allows this reprogramming at any age, but requires absolute consistency. It usually takes at least 66 days of repeated practice for a new neural pattern to become automatic. The law of attraction isn't magic, it's quantum physics applied to human psychology. When you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions toward a specific goal, you're creating what scientists call directed confirmation bias combined with focused selective attention. This means your brain literally begins filtering reality to highlight opportunities, resources, and connections that were always there but that you couldn't perceive before. It's like buying a red car and suddenly noticing red cars everywhere. They've always been there, but your mind didn't consider them relevant. Dr. Deepak Chopra explains that when you hold a clear intention long enough, you're programming your nervous system to recognize patterns that bring you closer to that outcome. It's not the universe conspiring in your favor, it's your own neurological apparatus reorganizing itself to serve your highest vision. Effective manifestation requires surgical precision in defining what you truly desire. Most people fail because their goals are too vague or contradictory. They want to be happy without defining what happiness means to them, or have more money while simultaneously harboring beliefs that rich people are corrupt. 2. Create a truly magnetic intention. You need to be extremely specific. Instead of "I want a relationship," define "I want a partner who values personal growth, who communicates openly during conflicts, who shares my interest in outdoor adventures, and who challenges me intellectually." The more detailed your vision, the more your subconscious can work to recognize when that person appears in your life. Furthermore, you need to resolve any internal conflict about deserving what you desire. If part of you wants financial success, but another part believes that money corrupts, these opposing forces will cancel each other out, leaving you trapped in unconscious sabotage. The most crucial and often overlooked step is building the bridge between the inner world of visualization and the outer world of concrete action every day. In addition to visualizing your desired future, you need to take at least one physical action that brings you closer to that goal. Want to attract a relationship? Work on your emotional health, expand your social circle, Develop hobbies that connect you with like-minded people. Want professional success? Invest in relevant skills, build a strategic network, and create tangible value in the marketplace. Visualization without action is daydreaming. Action without visualization is blind work. When you combine a crystal clear vision with concrete, consistent steps, you create what I call manifesting momentum, a self-reinforcing force, where each small step forward strengthens your conviction and attracts even more opportunities. Remember, your future isn't something that happens to you. It's something you consciously build, one thought and one action at a time. Now you have a complete map of the invisible territory that governs your human experience. But here's the question that will define the next few months of your life. Will you use this knowledge, or will you let it become just another interesting piece of information stored in your mind? The difference between people who transform their lives and those who remain stuck in the same patterns is only one: consistent action. Choose only one technique that resonates most with you. Perhaps it's observing your perceptual filters, challenging a specific limiting belief, practicing visceral gratitude, reprogramming a subconscious pattern, or aligning thoughts with concrete actions. Commit to this single practice for 30 consecutive days. Don't try to implement everything at once, as that's a guaranteed recipe for failure. I want you to do something right now. Stop this video for a moment, look around you, and identify 3 things in your environment that you hadn't noticed before watching this content. Seriously, do it now. Have you noticed how your perception is already expanding? This is just the beginning. Now answer me in the comments. What was the most impactful revelation for you? What belief about yourself are you ready to question? And most importantly, what will be your first concrete action to apply this knowledge today? I want to see your answer below, because when you verbalize a commitment publicly, you dramatically increase your chances of following through with it. If this content has resonated with you, if you feel like you've finally found the tools you've been looking for to take control of your reality, then subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications.